So, Dehancer, a film emulation company, have given me a chance to try out their software. Already tried out the film emulation for stills, so Photoshop, etc., etc., and it's amazing. It's brilliant. I'm using it quite a bit already, and I'm really enjoying that sort of journey down that side of things. I've been a photographer for many years. I did start in the film era, and you know, digital changed our ways, didn't it, a lot? And it's good, but at the same time, it's so clinical, it's so clear, so sharp that actually bringing back a film look actually gives you imperfections, not necessarily quite as sharp. You can get a little bit of damage on the negatives, and so on. And it's just adds character to a particular piece of film or movie you're making. And I think sometimes, depending on what you're filming or photographing, it kind of warrants that anyway. So if you're doing something a bit more period, or with a particular look you want, it's there and now it's available. And the main thing about film itself is so expensive to do today that actually having the digital stuff available and then the emulation software, it takes away all of the expense, and makes it so much more usable, and that's pretty much for everyone. So anyway, we're on DaVinci Resolve, and basically what I've done is, because I'm not a huge filmmaker as such, and there's some fantastic clips out there some of the other guys have done who've been trying out Dehancer as well. Um, and I thought, how the hell am I even going to match that? I can't. At the end of the day, my skills aren't that high yet. Working on it, but some of the guys out there are fantastic, and some of their video clips and things that they've put together are amazing. Um, so what I've done is I've gone through my archives as such and picked a few different shots that I think actually could make it look a little bit different, give you a little bit of real world thought and process to things that may be interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each clip, and I haven't got loads, but I've maybe 10 or something, and we can have a quick look and put different looks to things on it. And then what I'll do is I'll put the video together, and then if you want to watch it, you can. It'll just show you fully what it is. But if you go to the Dehancer film emulation website, which the link will be down below, there's also a discount code if you're interested, and that's across the board. They do the video side for DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and Adobe After Effects and Premiere Pro. For the photo side, they do Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One, and Affinity Photo, I think it is. There's also a mobile version now, which is Dehancer Photo and Video Editor and Dehancer Color Test as well. There's also an online version. So with DaVinci Resolve, you've got options of Dehancer Pro, which is what I'm using. You've got Dehancer Light, you've got Dehancer Grain, you've also got Dehancer Bloom, Dehancer Halation, and Dehancer Breathe and Damage, and also Dehancer Monitor, which is actually a free tool. Dehancer Pro basically gets everything, and the other bits and pieces you can either purchase or whatever separately. So let's jump into it. So what I said I've done is I have actually got some clips already. So we're in DaVinci Resolve. This is very new to me. I don't really use DaVinci Resolve, so I've been learning on the go. But basically what we have here is one clip, and basically we're going to drag the answer into there, and it's basically already got some bits and pieces already added to it. So we can see straight away that it's a little bit grainier, the colours change quite nicely, and it could look a little bit different. So let's have a what have we got here? So basically you've got all of your in the Dehancer Pro 7.2.1, you've got all your different types of film here that we can go and mess around. So let's pick a Agfa. Oh, that's in black and white. We've got Agfa Chrome there. Cine Steel 50D. Oh, I quite like that actually. Um, I'm going to try and make it quite brief. We've got Fuji there. I'm just going to Fuji Chrome Velvia 100. That's quite well known. That's quite cool actually. All I've already done is gone down here to the grain, added some grain, and halation and bloom is all preset as such. Film damage is up a bit as well. Film breathing, I've got it at, well, let's put it at 50. That wasn't even enabled, so I don't even know how that actually works, but there we go. Gate weave, don't actually know what that does. Like I said, a lot of this is new to me, but it does look quite cool, doesn't it? And then we've got overscan. So if we want overscan, which is not enabled, but basically you can do that and add in a the negative side of it, the actual film. But I'm going to leave it as is. So what we'll do is we'll come out of there. So that one there is what it is. Got my friend Phoebe here on her horse, so we're going to pop over to that one, and then we're just going to drag it over, and then we can pick something that we might like. So let's go, and it's that simple. Oh, here we go. That looks pretty cool. Let's go back a bit. There we go, and it adds that. Oh, it's just quite a nice colours and everything there. It looks really quite natural. And then we're going on to Concord. So we now have Concord to play with. Oh, I'm going up there. Again, so we're 1960s here, so what would we go for? Well, that's not a bad guess. Those colours and everything. This is a Brooklands. If you are in the UK and you've never been to Brooklands, it's a wicked place. It's basically got aircraft there, but it's also got cars, anything from push bikes to motorbikes, old stuff. And it's a really interesting day out. And there's Concord there, you can actually go on it. It's really cool. So there you go. You can see there's a little bit of grain. So maybe we should crank the grain up a bit more, wherever it is. Grain. There we go. We can make it a little bit more grainy. A bit too much. Ridiculous. And obviously you've got full adjustment on everything. This one here is in a seaside town called Bexhill. This is the old Delaware Pavilion part there. And that was built in the 30s, I think. I might be wrong. And let's have a quick look there. And I just thought old building, kind of cool. I just really want to show you guys that how it looks, you know. What I don't want to do is make this video. Actually, that's quite cool. So it's just a case of messing around and seeing kind of what you think looks good to for yourself. And I'm not adjusting too much. I mean, you can obviously do so much with these things, but I just wanted to give you the real world kind of thing. And then we're on to some swans. So these are shot with this Sony A1 at 120 frames a second. I've already slowed it down. What we're going to do is going to go right to the top and see where this goes. Unfortunately, I was shooting straight into the sun, so the exposure is not brilliant. Can I change that by the... Nope. I've gone to a... Where have I gone? This is what I'm saying. I'm learning how to use this. We've jumped all the way from the swans. There we go. So let's get back to them. I thought I might be able to use a arrow key there to actually... so Agfa scale 200. So black and white might work quite well because of what's going on. And then we've got the... you've got defringing. Oh, it's got to enable first. I thought this might... Again, I'm not really... oh, there we go. Exposure compensation. Defringe. And we've got film developer. So we can contrast boost. We enable it. Make sure we enable it. There we go. So we can actually mess around with that a bit. And then we've got film compression as well. Everything like that. And then we've also got film film grain, so we can add a bit more film grain. Bit of halation and bloom. It might show up on their wings. I'm just wondering. But in black and white with a bit of grain there and the water splashing about, that's pretty cool, I think. But again, it's all personal choice, all down to how you want it to appear. And obviously, this is just one small section of the program that you're using in effects that you can then adjust other things later. So, adding the film look can make a huge thing. So anyway, we're now onto this old Porsche. I never knew if it was a kit car or not, but it was pretty cool to see. So we're going to chuck that on. I mean, that's quite cool. Straight out of the bag. But I reckon we should go... Oh, what was that? Film Vision. Konica Minolta VX 400. That's quite nice. So that really shows that silver. A bit OTT on that. I'm just going to give you a few examples. There we go. I got spotted. On to a guy, Sam, I met, who's another photographer. And this was quite low light, so high ISO in the first place. Let's go for Polaroid, look, this one. High ISO and high speed. So shutter speeds were high, ISO was high, and it was almost dark. So we were looking at he was just having to be doing some long exposures, and I was out. Oh, I quite like that. That is quite cool. There we go. So wouldn't really need too much grain anyway, because it's already got the noise there, so you don't necessarily always need, but that does look really cool. And then I was at a classic car show, so we thought to get some thing. And obviously I'm just having a quick look through this. Just to kind of see. Well, that's quite cool with the contrast boost. What we can do with it, and I'm just learning as we go. This is the first time I've actually used this as is. So literally, I've loaded up the the video, sorry, into this, and then basically just experimenting on the go. So, but I just thought it's sometimes the better way, isn't it? Because you can bit of film damage as well. Overscan we don't need. Bit of bloom probably with that. I'm leaving it at 35mm because that's what I was. Again, I don't really know 100% on all of this yet. A bit of halation. Here we go. So an old, not sure what car it is. There we go. You can see some of the bloom halation around that number plate actually. So if we, yeah, you can see the bloom was, there you go. You can see it there. If I reduce it down, it doesn't need to be as excessive. And the halation there as well. So probably don't need to go as crazy. But there you go. But that's quite cool, doesn't it? You can see a bit of damage happening in there as it goes through as well. So yeah, how cool is that? So on to the next one. We are going to be at okay, I'll let you listen to this once because this is really cool. Bit of a beast. So let's go back. I don't know if we can go back a clip. I don't know how. Let's go back one. Again, learning the program as well is not the easiest thing. Plus, I'm an old man now, so learning on the go isn't necessarily a thing. So let's find the car. There we go. Bit of halation, bit of bloom, bit of film damage, and now we're going to find what do we go for. I reckon quite a bit of grain on this. But what kind of film do we want? That's the question. Start at the top. Obviously, you could look up and find out the sort of era of these types of film, and go from there. Obviously, I'm not adjusting much on the exposure or anything like that. Ooh, it's a bit crazy, that one. But obviously you can, only it needs bringing down a bit because it's a bit pushy high. Cine still 800. That's not bad, is it? Fuji. Oh, there we go. This is more getting on more like it. Velvet doesn't really. Actually, that's quite cool with the orange and everything. That does look quite cool. So we can. There should be an exposure. There we go. It's getting a bit better. We've got tint, defringe, and everything like that. So there's lots of little bits and pieces that we can adjust. Color temperature. But to be fair, I think it was pretty much bang on there anyway. Exposure compensation, so we can drop it down a little bit, so that's a bit more thing. But what we probably do need is a bit more gamma correction, like, oh, there we go, it's a little bit more. And then we should have we've got the white point on the front there of the car, just for the if not the reflection, and the black point here. So you probably want to darken it down a bit. There you go, that looks a little bit more like it. So again, here we go. Just catching up with itself. But you can see where it's running slow. You can see the damage on the film and everything there showing up. It hasn't actually rendered it yet, that's why it's a little bit slow. But it does look quite cool. And to be fair, that's quite good. It's playing it slowly, so we can actually appreciate it. Right, so this is a motorbike, an old two-stroke Norman Gillard bike, and I'm wondering how we push this. It was shot in the studio. Contrast boost. Depends how you want it to go, really. It's quite cool, though. Color separation. Color boost. So we can make, oh, that's quite cool. So you can make the, you can drop the color boost down, or we can, I quite like that, a bit of blue craziness. And then we're going to go for film grain is 35. It seems to be as a thing. But yeah, we'll leave it halation and bloom. How's this going to work? Not really sure if it's popping much anyway. A little bit actually, but I've got it at 50. Film damage as well. And let's go back up to the type of film it is, which is Fujicolor Print 400. What about the... Again, you can literally pick so many, and then you've got infinite adjustability. I quite like that, to be fair. There you go. Just walking around. It's not stabilized footage or anything like that, but at the end of the day, we didn't really have stabilization much back in the day anyway, did we? There we go. Right, this one is a bit of welding at high speed, and I thought this might look quite nice. Quite grainy, a little bit darker, and yeah, more like that. And then quite a lot of grain because it make it look a bit dirty and a bit grumpy, kind of thing. Halation as well, and bloom. I don't know how much it's going to show up. And basically, yeah, just have a little play around with it. Bit of vignette as well. And you've got other bits and pieces down here as well. Obviously, you can have normal quality or high. So if we want to go nice and high, we can. Let's have a look, see what this is doing. That looks quite cool with the grain added. And there we go. Is there any? I can't remember if there's damages turned on. Film damage, no. Let's add a bit of damage as well. Let's have a look again. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of film damage showing up every now and again. That's quite cool. I quite like that as a thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to render this, and then we can have a quick look at it. And hopefully it sounds interesting. I'll probably add a bit of music to it and go from there. Anyway, if you're interested in using the software, go to Dehancer Film Emulation, which is dehancer.com. There will be a discount code below that you can utilize, and yeah, make the most of that. And that's across the board. Fantastic bit of kit, and I'm really enjoying using this. And I'm, like I say, I'm learning on the go, so it's a real world situation. I just really wanted to sort of give you that sort of impression that, you know, at the end of the day, we all start somewhere. We all learn on the go, especially when we get new software, we get new cameras, we get this, that, and the other. You've got to start fresh. So I thought I'd show you that side of thing, rather than the amazing video clips and things that people have put together, which in reality is a little bit out of most people's starting area, if you know what I mean. As amazing as they are, I am still back down here looking and experimenting and learning bits and pieces. So I just thought I'd give you the real world reality of some things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well. Go and give Dehancer a follow on Instagram as well. Check out their YouTube channel. But I'll put all the links down below, and like I say, there's a discount code, so go and utilize that if you fancy. But there's free trials as well, so go and try out the free trials. You can have an experiment yourself and see how you get on with it. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do like it, you can purchase it. So there we go. Anyway, catch you later.